Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Mrs. G. In this video, we are going to be looking at the 2021 Geography CSEC multiple choice paper. Let's get to it.
Damn. Yeah.
Right, so let's get into it. This is going to be part 1 of the video. Part 2 will follow 7 days later. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so and turn your post notifications on so that you do not miss part 2 or any of our other content. Let's begin. Items 1 to 3 refer to the following map of a section of an island in the Caribbean region. So we are seeing the map. And the question says, what is the contour interval used on the map? So for contour interval, that means the interval between the contours, what that is measuring. So we know what contour lines look like. We know the numbers on the contour lines. We're seeing 200, 300, 400, 500, and so on. So we already know that the contour line or the contour interval there would have been 100 feet. So that's letter B. Number 2, in which of the following directions, does Boot River flow? So we have the direction there and we're seeing Boot River here. We're seeing the north here to help us to figure out how the direction is going. And Boot River is flowing down to here because this is the base. So this is where the sea is, right? So the direction of flow, we can see that it is towards the southeast. So you would look for your answer, and your answer would have been letter D. Number 3, what settlement pattern is shown in the grid square labeled A? So the grid square labeled A is right here. And the settlement pattern, we can see, well, if you didn't know what that is, the buildings here, they're suggesting settlement with these squares. And we are seeing that they are set out along the roadway in this area in a line. So that would have been a linear settlement that we are seeing. So for number 3, it would have been letter A. Number 4. In the diagram above, the feature labeled 1 is a mouth, tributary, confluence, or distributary. So we can see that this is exactly where the river flows into the sea. A tributary would have been further up where there's another river joining the main river. But in this particular case, the river, it's one river that is now distributing in several different smaller streams. So that would have made it a distributary. So that would have been letter D for number 4. Number 5 to 8 refer to the following table, which shows the average monthly rainfall and the temperature for a certain location. What is the average annual temperature at this location? So how do we find average? Just using mathematics, for example, it means that you would add up all of these and then you divide it by the number of things that you just added. Right? So that would have been all of these, whatever they come to, and then you divide that by 12. When we do that, since it's 12 months, when we do that, we would have gotten 26.19 something something. So that gives us 26.2, which is letter B for number 5. Number 6. The rainfall pattern indicates A, rain throughout the year. When you get a question like this, you need to look through the answers to see which one actually fits. So rain throughout the year, this is rainfall. We are seeing that rainfall is happening throughout the year, so that is a yes. B, rain mostly in the cooler months. We're not seeing that separation. Mostly in the warmer months, we're not seeing that either. Little variation in rainfall from month to month. There is some amount of variation because we have 160 here, then we have 225, 180, then 260, and so on. So the answer for number 6 is letter A. Number 7. The annual temperature range for this location is. So how do we find temperature range? We look back at the temperature, we find the highest one. In this case, it is 28. and then we find the lowest one, which is 25, and then we subtract. So that would have given us 3. So our temperature range is 3 degrees. So for number 7, it is letter B. Number 8. The type of climate experienced at this location may be described as, so let me go back up. We can see that we have rainfall right throughout the year. We are not seeing a distinct wet and dry season. We are also seeing that the temperature is relatively high throughout the year as well. So for number 8, I'm going to say that it is our tropical marine climate. If you don't think that one is tropical marine, let me know. This one is, well, tropical marine and tropical continental. They're so very close to each other most of the times, but there is a particular difference still. All right, let's go. Number 9. 9 to 10 refers to the following map of a section of an island in the Caribbean region. The feature labeled X, let us find X. They gave us the 6-figure, oh, here it is. They gave us a 6-figure grid reference for that. So just in case you couldn't find it just by looking over the map. So the feature labeled X is a confluence, distributary, river capture, or deferred junction. So we are seeing a river coming down here, and it's joining another river here. So the point at which a smaller river or a tributary joins a main river is called a confluence. So for number 9, it would have been letter A. Number 10, the general direction of flow of the Black River is. So let us find the Black River. We see it. And assuming that north is that way, it would mean just the same as we did before. It's like you're doing north like that. So we're seeing the Black River over here. So we're looking at south-southwest-ish. So let us look at the options. Yes, south-southwest for number 10. So that's letter D. Number 11 refers to the following contour sketch map showing points X and W. So the bearing of X from W is approximately. Now when you're in a paper 1 exam, really and truly, you don't want to be using all of your time for things that you can do really, really quickly. You want to use your time to review when you're finished. You want to use your time to spend it on the harder questions that you're going to do after you finish all the ones that are manageable, right? So just by looking at this, without using the tools, you can sort of figure out what the answer is. So it said bearing of X from W. That means we are at W right here, and we need to know the bearing of X. So it's up there. So we know already that we're coming all the way around here. So, right? So this is the entire angle that we need to pay attention to. So already it more than 45, because right here so would have been 45. That is out. All the way down to here would have been 180. So anything underneath 180 is also out. And then this is 270, I believe, something like that. So this is also out. So our only option up here, so close to 360 degrees, would have been the 315. So you can figure out the answer without actually getting a protractor, drawing up and measuring and so on, right? You don't even have to draw this. You can just figure out where it is and what your potential answer would have been. So it's letter D for number 11. Number 12 refers to the following diagram, which shows air rising and clouds forming over a highland. So this is the highland here. And the question says, at what height in meters above sea level does condensation begin? So we're seeing meters here, we're seeing sea level. We know that this is the measurement that we're working with. When does condensation begin? We know that it's right here. So that's about 600 meters. So our answer for number 12 is letter C. Number 13 to 14 refers to the following sketch map of an area. So we can see the map there, scale, key, everything. Which of the following types of settlement will most likely develop between Y and Z? So here's Z and here's Y, and we can see a major roadway there, and then we can see where the land is elevating, and the land is elevating. So more than likely persons will settle along the roadway. So that would have given us a linear settlement, so it would have been letter A for number 13. Number 14, what type of farming system is most likely to exist at X? So let us find X. So here's X. X is on flat land. This is also showing us estate boundaries. So estate means plantation style commercial farming, relatively flat land right across. They can do a lot of things with that. So based on the options, we would have selected commercial arable farming. Commercial, yeah, you need a lot of space. Number 15, which of the following climate types is affected by the trade winds all year round, experiences a wet and dry season, and has an annual rainfall between 1,200 to 2,000 meters? That would have been the tropical marine climate. So for number 15, it is letter C. Number 16. What is the name of the volcanic feature labeled P? So P is pointing down in here, which is our crater. Is it? Number 16? Yeah, it's our crater. All right. Number 17. 17 refers to the following map of a continent. The shaded area on the map above is best described as the. So 0 degrees here, extremely hot, above and below to 23.5 degrees north and south of the equator. That would have been our tropical areas. So number 17 is letter A. Number 18 to 21 refers to the following rainfall and temperature graph of a country. 18. Which of the following statements is true based on the information given in the graph? So again, when you get a question that asks you to identify which of the following statement is true, it means that you need to look at each of the statements so that you can figure it out, right? First one says, the hottest months of the year are also the driest. So let us see. This line here is showing us the temperature, and the bars below is showing us the rainfall. So it says the hottest months, which would have been the months with the highest up here. So that is February, January, are also the driest. So we're seeing a small amount of rainfall in February, January, November, December. That looks true. Let's look at the others. The hottest months of the year are also the wettest. So that is actually the opposite. They're not the wettest. So that one is out. There is little variation in rainfall throughout the year. Not true. We are seeing great variation there. See that? And then this height up here, so and so on. Not true. There is little variation in temperature throughout the year. We're not seeing that either. The variation is large. So for number 18, it is letter A. Number 19. The annual range of temperature is approximately. So when you're doing range of whatever, anything, you would need to find the highest and the lowest, and then you subtract. So it's temperature. So we can look for the highest temperature point here. It's about here, so that would give us, say, about 24. Maybe about 24 degrees, and then the lowest point would have been here, so it looks about 11. So 24 minus 11, 24 minus 11 would have given us 13. Closest we have to that, since it's an estimation, is 12. So our answer for number 19 is letter B. Number 20. Which month had the highest temperature? Highest temperature is up here. It is February. The rainy season is most likely to occur during the months of. So rainy season, that's the period with the most rainfall basically. So we have May, June, July. Yeah, May, June, July there. So this says May to September. So we would take that one. So for 21, it is letter B. Number 22. Which of the following statements about lines of latitude is true? So lines of latitude, lateral, that means that's the ones that are going across. Try to remember it that way. They meet at the poles. Pole is north and south, so up, down, that would not be it. They are all great circles. That would not be it either, because the great circles go across, like kind of like that. Yes. And letter C, they represent angular distance from the prime meridian. Has nothing to do with the prime meridian because it's lines of latitude that we're talking about. And they represent the angular distance north and south of the equator. That is correct. So let me just do a quick explanation. So this is my equator there, 0 degrees, and I would have my other lines of latitude above and below. So it is giving me the angular distance. So like there, so would have given me 23.5, and then there, so would have given me a bigger angle, and so on. That's what they mean by angular distance, north and south of the equator. Number 23. Which of the following can be defined as a sheet of solidified magma along a bedding plane? So along is the sill. Number 24. Weather refers to data on daily observations of the elements, but climate refers to the observations over a longer period of time. We know that one. So it's not a week, not a month. Several decades it would have been. So that would have been letter C for number 24. Number 25. Which of the following gives the order of the processes in the hydrological cycle? So condensation, precipitation, transpiration, runoff. No, runoff would need to be right after the rainfall, after the precipitation. So condensation, no. Right, evapotranspiration, then that leads to condensation, then it rains, then runoff. So our answer for number 25 would have been letter C. Number 26. A river that is wide, shallow, has bars, and islands around which the river flows is described as a braided river. 27 and 28 refers to the following diagram showing the movement of plate margins. Which of the following plate margins is shown? So we're seeing where the plates are moving towards each other. So we can see one arrow here, another arrow here, and we have our subduction zone there. So that means they're coming together or they are converging. So that gives us a convergent plate boundary. That is number 27 is letter C. Number 28. Which of the following features are shown at R? So we are seeing the volcanoes there. So that would have been letter A for number 28. So guys, we're almost at the end of part 1 of the 2021 paper 1 for geography. Please ensure that you subscribe to the channel, turn your post notifications on so you do not miss part 2. Share this video with a friend and leave a comment. Ask a question, tell me something, or yeah. Number 29. Which of the following factors would be most effective in slowing down the rate of population growth in the Caribbean? So to slow down the rate of population growth can mean that you have a low death rate, low emigration rate, high life expectancy, mean people living longer. That would not help. Low total fertility rate, yes. So low total fertility rate, if you have less, if you have the potential for less children to be born, it means that it will effectively slow down the rate of population growth. So for number 29, that is letter D. Now to our final question before we take a break, and then you can watch this and we prepare for part 2, is number 30. So items 30 to 31 refer to the following population density map of island P. Which of the following statements is generally true of the population of island P? So let us look. A, it is evenly distributed. No, we're not seeing that. Let me explain the diagram first. Inhabitants per kilometer square. The dark color here is showing that it is greater than 400 persons per kilometer square in that area. 200 to 399 gives you that color, such as 2. Then 0 to 99 means that that's the lowest population there, right? So we're not seeing it evenly distributed. The area of highest density is in the south. It is not down there, so that's a no. The density decreases outward from area 1. That is correct. The density increases outward from area 1. Not correct. So for 30, our answer is letter C. So that takes us to the end of part 1 of the 2021 paper 1 for geography. If you are looking forward to part 2 of this paper, please type part 2 in the comment section so that we can see that you are paying attention and you are actually watching. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It is always a pleasure to assist you. Looking forward to seeing you in part 2.